All right, folks, welcome back to another video. You asked for it, so we are going to do it. The Leo Carlsson shift breakdown video. This is going to be a fun one. Strap yourselves in. A couple more shifts, I think, than we did the other day with Pavel Mintyukov. And we're going to have the pleasure of talking about Leo Carlsson's first goal in an Anaheim Ducks uniform. And right here, we are going to talk about and look at the very first shift for Leo Carlsson in an Anaheim Ducks uniform. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's just jump right in. A dumped puck into the Ducks zone, and just really quick, right off the hop, this is something that I really want to point out with Leo Carlsson because I think that it really weighed on the Ducks' evaluation of him pre-draft. So the puck is dumped in. We have Tristan Luneau right here who is scanning. We call that shoulder checking. He's looking over his shoulder, trying to identify where he can go, where his passing options are. But Leo Carlsson, as the center here, he is supporting the play. He is supporting his defenseman, getting low, covering really this whole area. And that's something that I think and I'll talk about it again in a later clip, so I'll probably be repeating myself, but just getting down low and supporting the play, I think that that's what a modern center has to be able to do. And it helps everybody because it gives everybody a safety blanket. So right here, Tristan Luneau kind of shrugs off his check, shrugs off his man. Leo Carlsson's right there. Oops. Problem is, though, Tristan forgot the puck. Puck is right there. And so we're going to turn around. And here, the Ducks are able to recover possession. And Leo sees that this is kind of what I call a jump ball. So this is a 50-50 puck. You're going to have to win it. But if you win it, you've got a lot of speed. You've got a lot of opening here, a lot of space to work with. And so Leo's right here. The puck is right here. And he's already getting into his crossovers. We talk a lot about the skating, and we're going to talk more about the skating right here because this is going to be a great illustration of where his skating is at. So he follows the play. Puck gets chipped out. And now he's in the neutral zone, and you can see him striding through. I'm giving you guys a quick look through. At first glance, full speed, but we're really going to break down the stride here because this is a great opportunity to see his stride really in all of its glory, we'll call it. So I'll get into the posture right here. I think that that's good. We'll go back a tick. Puck gets shot up the wall, chip up. And now we can really see the leg extension with Leo Carlsson. So what are skating gurus looking for when they're analyzing a player's skating stride? Because everyone talks about skating. Does a guy have quick feet? Is he a good skater? But there's so much that goes into skating. It's not a blanket term. And so right here, one thing that you really like to see is that almost a 90-degree knee angle. He's really getting his knees out in front. And you can see right here the ankle flexing. And so what that's doing is it's creating all this potential energy. You load up that knee, and then you can extend all the way out. And I'm not the biggest skating expert, so this is kind of the limits of what I know. But right here, he's maybe a bit hunched over. That's something that skating gurus, I'm just going to call them gurus from now on, also look at is, are you upright? Are you in more of a dynamic stance? Right here, maybe a little bit hunched over, that's going to just intuitively, right, that's going to delay and make it a little harder to get as much speed as you can because you've got your weight maybe keeping you down a little bit, but just roll the tape here. I mean, the stride looks good. The stride looks good to me. Like, it's powerful. He's got a long leg extension. I mean, let's just watch it again. Like, where is the issue here? I'm sure there's an issue because, again, I'm not a skating expert. I know a few things. Don't take this as gospel, but just taking a look at it. I mean, how many strides do we have here? Puck gets chipped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's at the puck. He's on the Vegas defenseman right then and there. I mean, that, again, it's not something you want to put all the stock in the world into, but just, again, looking at the zone exit, supporting the play. Something goes wrong because it's not always going to be perfect. Tristan Luneau forgets the puck. So what do here? We readjust. And you can see him have to readjust. Like, right there, he had to stop on a dime. Right there. You can see the way his body is angled. Like, he's kind of surprised that this is what's happening, but that's okay. adjusts, Ducks recover possession, and I like the fact that to generate speed. This is something that, again, the skating people will tell you. You want to use those crossovers. And if you're not familiar with what a crossover is, just watch right here. Watch Leo Carlsson right here. Follow him. It's essentially where your feet are crossing over one in front of the other, right? So imagine that you have imagine the field sobriety test. For those who are familiar, hopefully you're not familiar. Essentially, you have both your feet, one foot goes in front of the other. Just imagine that. One foot, essentially your heel is almost touching your toe. So right here, quick feet. See that? This is what I'm talking about, folks. Those feet are kind of almost touching, but not completely. What you're doing there is you're creating speed. And Leo Carlsson has talked about, I want to work on my first 3 steps. I want to get quicker. Boom. And just in a few strides, he's all over this Vegas defenseman. Makes him cough up the puck. Now here's where it gets interesting. So wins a puck battle, wins a foot race. This is as good as it's going to get. I mean, all the time, all the space in the world. He could do anything here. The world is really his oyster. So he's got an opportunity to maybe pass it to Colson Petrie. He's got an opportunity to cut in on net. But the thing is, because of all that speed that he generated back in the neutral zone, we'll go back and look at it again. All that speed and all that weight, he's a big man. I think that what it causes here, and you love to see the stick lift, by the way, to get the puck. I think it makes it so that there's a lot of momentum for him. I think that he's kind of, why am I drawing back there? Sorry. I think that he's kind of stuck here where the momentum is just carrying him. And so as he's coming on net, he's a little out of control. He's not fully settled in and able to just pick his head up and make the play that I think he wants to make. Because as you can see, as you're about to see, I don't think he wanted to do that. I don't think that he wanted to lose his footing and essentially have nothing come of it. So let's go through it again. Those first few quick steps, generating speed, full leg extension here. I mean, he's really digging in, getting those knees bent, arms swaying, generating momentum. Stick lift, comes in on net. And I mean, it's really hard to slow down your momentum. I think one thing that he could have done here to maybe help himself to have a more dangerous opportunity, they call it anchoring. So what does that mean? You pick up, let's say that you want to go to the right. What you do is you anchor your left foot. You do that by picking up your right foot. So now all of a sudden, all of your weight is right here, but you're shifting your body that way. And what that does is counterintuitively maybe, it's gonna allow you to just seamlessly shift the other way. Look it up, anchoring. And so if he does that here, then he's able to go to his backhand, make a move, or maybe stay on his forehand and wait for that goalie to give up the short side post. He's got a few different options. Or, hey, maybe come all the way across and then dump it off to Colson Petrie. You've got a ton of different options there. Easier said than done. I'm just a guy sitting here behind his computer screen with a clicker, so I don't want to get too nitpicky on him right here. But overall, first shift ever as an Anaheim Duck in a Ducks uniform. And just so much to pick out, so many good things, good habits, right? I mean, just supporting the play. You like to see that. The quick feet, the ability to recognize and anticipate, oh, this puck is coming out. I better get on my horse. And then he gets rewarded for that anticipation. It's not a clean look, though. He has to win a race, does it, second effort, comes in on net. The only thing missing with this play was that finishing touch, and I think part of it could be explained to momentum. So really encouraging first shift. And again, maybe to the kind of outside observer, it might not seem like much, but there was a lot to take away here, and it's an encouraging start, but we've got more to get into. Next shift, Leo Carlsson. This is going to be one where the other shifts I've already shown, the one I showed you just now and the ones you're going to see moving forward, all great. This is maybe one where, hey, can we do a couple of things differently to get a better outcome? But it starts off great. So just so everybody is on the same page with me here, Leo Carlsson on the right of your screen. The Ducks are not on a power play, but on this shift, I think Olen Zellweger was out there too, so was Pavel Mintyukov, and they kind of look like they're on the power play, but Leo Carlsson's going to receive the puck at the point. And what I love about this decision here is that he's immediately attacking that defender, right? He's putting that defender, and I'll point him out right here, this defender, he's putting him in a position where he has to make tough decisions, right? He's attacking at an angle, right? So Leo Carlsson could potentially cut back. He could pass back. There's just a few different ways that he can go. Love the quick hands right here. Protect the puck, shield the puck, use your body. I mean, if you're 6'3" and you're Leo Carlsson, you've got to use that frame, and he does. Also notice, and this is tiniest of details, and now it went back too far, but you'll see the tiniest of details, and again, just these little things that Leo Carlsson will do to create space for himself. So right here, shakes off the defender. Now right here, so notice Pavel Mintyukov hanging out, as Pavel Mintyukov does. He is really, at this point, the only real passing option for Leo Carlsson. And so Leo's looking for a way to shake off this defender, at least create more space for himself. And so what does he do? He does a little lean where he's actually faking the drop pass. He adds that extra little stick handle, twists his body almost back against the play. And what that does, look at that. Defender just kind of just comes off of him. Maybe he's playing within the system. Maybe he was fooled by the fake drop pass. We don't really know, but it just bought him a little time. Leo's able to come in and try to create something there. So let's roll it back from the beginning just to really kind of see all the pieces come together. Back to the point. Attack the defender. Boom. Little fake right here. Little subtle fake. And it wasn't even a stick handle. It was just a lean. I think that those sometimes, for passers especially, Trevor Zegras is great at this, is you're not even moving your stick. You're just angling your body. And that's creating the impression to your defender that you're about to do something that you're not with the puck. The area of improvement, I'll call it, the critique you could have of this play is that as he comes in, just a little too unselfish, maybe. He's trying to get Nikita Nesterenko a puck. Defenseman picks up on it. Defenseman's able to break it up. My issue here isn't so much the decision to pass, because I feel like that's just kind of the generic hockey broadcast analysis is, oh, he passed up a shot. How dare he? It's the setup here, right? So he's not really, if you're intending to pass here, which Leo Carlsson clearly was, you want to establish essentially that is a threat you want to establish that you have the shooting possibility before you actually get that shot off. And so here, unfortunately, I rewinded too far back, so we're going to have to watch back from the beginning. Let's see here. Yep, okay, there's Olen Zellweger. That may have been off the post. Leo Carlsson attacks. Boom, fake the drop pass. And right here, I just think that if you want to sell that passing option, and I apologize for the delay there, but if you want to sell that passing option, you got to show a little bit more. Defensemen these days are really smart. They're looking for cues. I want to see that puck here more out to the side, more in that hip pocket, in a shooting threat position. You see Troy Terry do this a lot. Sell the shooting option, sell something else besides the pass, as opposed to just running out of real estate, this kind of hook pass attempt that goes nowhere. And Leo Carlsson's a smart guy. I don't doubt that he doesn't need me telling him anything, so don't take this as I'm better than him or whatever, intelligence-wise. But it's just one of those little things where we've noticed now, we saw it on the first shift, where sometimes where he's coming in with a head of steam, he kind of just runs out of real estate, or he's just coming in too fast and he's doesn't have the answers. Now, that's going to happen. You're not going to be perfect. There's so many different plays within a game, but I think there's a lot to like on this shift. That attack off the blue line, the fake drop pass, we'll call it, or at least the angle fake. It's just that little lack of finish. You want to see that. And it's the right read, by the way, because you could see that Nikita Nesterenko's man had been on him and then came off, and that created this passing angle. It's a really tough angle, but it's not the wrong read. It's just the setting it up giving yourself the best chance. And yes, it happens within a fraction of a second, so a lot of this is nitpicking. Let's watch the shift one more time. But it's just how can we basically leverage as much as we can. So a good shift, some things to work on. Let's keep it rolling. Leo Carlsson goal alert. That is right. We are about to watch Leo Carlsson's first goal ever in an Anaheim Ducks uniform. That's all we can really say because this isn't a preseason game. This isn't a regular season game. But he is indeed wearing the orange and black uniform. On this play, a lot to like. So let's get right into it. The Kings try to clear out the zone. And right here, the Ducks are able to knock it down. Actually, the play prior to this, Carlsson was able to glove the puck down. I'm trying to say Carlsson instead of Leo. I keep saying the first name. And I don't know these guys personally, so I should probably keep it on a last name basis. Anyway, Carlsson had knocked it down before and had gotten a play going, but it didn't really go anywhere. This is the continuation of that. But one thing I want to point out, just a little teeny tiny thing, a little teeny tiny nuance, is that his line mate, and I apologize, I don't know who it is, and I'm not going to repeat the Ben King snafu of saying the wrong name, does a good job of gloving the puck down. He's basically playing like a outfielder in baseball, getting all ready, or I don't know, shortstop, whatever. But Leo, I'll just say Leo, whatever, picks up on that. He's looking, and I just love the turn here. I love the edge work. He gets on his outside edge, and he pivots really fast. Look at this. Whoop, boom. I mean, it's such a tiny little thing, but that ability to quickly pivot, a lot of guys can do this, right? Like this isn't a special skill, but again, the Leo Carlsson narrative that we always come back to pre-draft, skating, it's an issue. It's not the best, not the quickest. I mean, right here, whoop. I mean, he's in a dynamic posture. He's low. He's got his head looking forward. I mean, it's just looks good. It's a tiny little thing. Don't want to put too much weight into it, but nice little agility there. Now, loose puck-ish. It's not really clear who's got control. His line mate is able to put it just into an area. I mean, it's really not the best pass. And that's Carey Terrance. We figured out the identity. Not the best pass, puts it into an area, but the problem is you've got two Kings defenders there, and so not a whole lot for Leo Carlsson to work with. And as he comes in there, I mean, you're really thinking at this point, like, there is just not a whole lot for him to work with here. And because of the camera angle, we can't really see what's going on with the puck. And as it turns out, what's going on with the puck makes a big difference because watch what happens. Whoop, just sidesteps. And look at the quick feet. Look at the quick feet. I mean, this is something we talked about Leo Carlsson, or that he talked about, I should say, is he was working on his first 3 steps. Area pass, whoop, and look at that, striding. And what you love to see, and this is something that skating gurus talk about a lot, is the first 3 steps, trying to get it in crossovers, trying to build speed with crossovers. And so he does that, gets 2 or 3 crossovers, boom, boom. Now he's coming in, and he's got a ton of room to work with, and he's got the passing option. As you can see, he's selling that pretty well. Head up, scanning the ice, making the defender think, okay, I'm going to have to respect the passing option. Carlsson walks in, and I mean, the defenseman's now just flat on the ice. Like, he's absolutely convinced that the pass is coming, and or, welp, goalie, this is now your job. Carlsson dances in, and you can't really exactly tell what he does, so I don't want to analyze it too much, but it looks like he puts on a quick stick handle, and I saw some people tweet that he went 5-hole. To me, it looks like he roofs it. There's just not enough pixels in this video to really tell, but let's just play one more time. Leo Carlsson's first goal in an Anaheim Ducks uniform. Whoop, quick pivot, quick edge work, and then just dances around, using his edges, using his crossovers. I mean, this isn't the highest level of competition, but it's the traits that we're looking for. Walks in, sells passing option, extra stick handle, and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I see the puck coming off the ice here. Boom, boom. I mean, you can barely make it out, but I do think he got it off the ground. And hey, there you go. Gives the team the lead. I think that at this point, what are we at? In the second period, halfway through the game, it's a big goal. A lot to like on the shift here. Another shift here from Leo Carlsson. This one again in the same game against LA on Monday. And this is a power play entry, power play zone entry. And so the play starts off where we have, I believe it is Olen Zellweger right here, who's going to find his man, Leo Carlsson, who's actually swinging all the way from the back of the play. You can see him. He's all the way behind the net. If I can get my pencil on there. There you go. He's right there. And so we're going to roll it here. The play develops. Olen Zellweger surveying the ice. Gets that long drop pass. And now it's something that we were talking about in one of our previous clips, is that Leo's got a lot of room to work with here. So what is he going to do with it? And in this situation, I think that he does something a little bit different, something that is subtle, maybe shows an area of potential growth. But as he attacks the zone here, I think that what's nice is that he doesn't just put his head down and attack it head on. He can see the defender right here is angling him. That defender is trying to push him off and get him to go wide. That is what defenders want to do. And Leo anticipates that, and as soon as he catches the puck, and I think that this is a key skill for a lot of players, is once you get that puck, are you already making a move? Are you already making a decision? And those were just squiggly lines. I'm not sure what I was doing there. But gets it, and he's immediately cutting to the outside. Boom, look at that. I mean, in one fell swoop, I think Daryl Belfry, who's a famous skills coach, calls this preparing the puck. Could be wrong about that, but he gets the puck, and as soon as he gets it, boom, cut. And it happens really fast, and it almost makes you think he was scanning, he was anticipating, he was reading the play. So he gets it here, just a clean zone entry, dumps it off to the wing. I think it's Nikita Nesterenko again. And Leo Carlsson using one of his favorite tools in his arsenal, which is give and go, cut to the net, and Nikita gets it over to him, but I think Leo gets his stick lifted. But you look at this play in its entirety, and it's something that we talk about a lot with Leo Carlsson, is that it all starts, I shouldn't say it all starts in the defensive zone, but it happens everywhere on the ice. It's not just one static skill. It's an ability to scan, to react, to anticipate. We don't want to put too much stock into it. It's a rookie face-off, but boom. Just a nice little adjustment there. Happen really fast. Dump off, give and go. And those are just very fundamental plays. He's not trying to do it all himself. He's getting his teammates involved. Just a nice little play. Not much more to it. All right, next shift we're going to look at here, a shift for Leo Carlsson that starts in the defensive zone. And that's something that we heard a lot about pre-draft was, hey, his ability to be responsible in both ends of the ice. So puck drops here, face-off, wins it back to his defenseman. I'm not someone who thinks face-offs are super important, but you like to see him get the win. And like we pointed out earlier in the earlier clip, always supporting the puck, always being an option. And that to me is so important for a modern NHL NHL center in his defensive zone, is that he's got to just always be there as a supporting option. Now, of course, different teams, different systems, different roles, it's not always going to be the same. But I think that on a baseline level, you want to have this ability. Now we're going to see, again, a little bit of that skating that we talked about for Leo Carlsson. So supporting his winger, he's a passing option, gets the puck back, and now, boom, he's got a ton of open space to work with. I mean, this is just a really big chunk here that he can work with. So what is he going to do with it? He doesn't quite have that speed yet to where he can just attack it and really put the defensemen on their heels. And really, even if he were super fast here, because that gap is so big, you're not really going to be able to pressure the defenseman like you would want. The way you pressure a defenseman is if they're playing too close to you, and then you can exploit that, you can angle them. And so here, attacks that blue line, does manage to back off the defenseman a little bit, and now maybe you could argue that he's selling this passing option here. We don't really know. One thing that we maybe don't like to see as much is the fact that he stops moving his feet, right? He's not striding towards the net. He's not using that frame to impose his will here. But as we're going to come to find out, And how it always is with Leo Carlsson is this is part of the plan. This is part of a plan in the moment. His mental map of the ice, his ability to think, okay, this is the situation, this is the solution I apply. It happens so fast. And so he enters the zone, boom, dumps it off to Rodwin Dioniccio here. And I'm honestly not even sure how he saw him. I mean, we can rewind the tape. We have that ability. As he's skating up here, I mean, did he see Rodwin out of the corner of his eye as he was skating it up? I'm not sure. And so he gets up here and just dumps it off to Rodwin. I mean, he took a little bit of a look before the pass, but dumps it off. And now what you're going to see, again, is that plan. He's going to keep going. He is going to cut to the net, and it's going to turn into a cross-ice pass. And so let's take a look at it in all of its glory. Rodwin picks up on that, gets it back to Leo. Leo picks it up, and a perfect, Nikita Nesterenko here. My guy. You're gonna have to finish these off. Now the video's kind of grainy, so we don't know if this was in his feet, but Leo puts it on a platter for him. I mean, you can see the empty net there. You can see netting, which is not a good sign if you're the goalie. Nikita's not able to finish it off, but play it all back. This all starts in the defensive zone. This all starts with good habits. We talked about it. Supporting the puck. Again, you see him right here. Always close to the play. Always making sure that his winger has kind of a safety blanket, able to just dump off the puck to him with an easy pass. Exploits the space. Give and go with Rodwin Dioniccio. Puts it on a platter for Nikita Nesterenko, who can't finish it off. But overall, it's just a fantastic play, and I think that it does encapsulate pretty well what Leo Carlsson can do at his best. All right, guys, the last clip of the night. Well, I guess for me now it's starting to become morning. That's okay. This is going to be a little different. This is not a shift from a game. This is a tweet or an X or whatever the hell it's called these days. But the Ducks put out a little clip here, a little snapshot, of Leo Carlsson's snapshot. And one thing I really want to point out here, again, what I love about Leo Carlsson so far is that everything he told us after the draft of what he wanted to work on, it looks like he's actually been working on it, right? So we talked about the first 3 steps, how important those are, and how it looks like he's improved that. He also talked about how he wanted to improve his shot. And you look at this shot here, and I'm going to stop it right when we can really see. There's so many different components to a shot, so we're going to try to cover as many of them here as we can. First off, your puck preparation. Of course, every shot is going to be different angles, different circumstances. But what you see a lot of the good shooters do these days, number one that comes to my mind is Connor Bedard, is you start out with that puck away from your body. I'm not sure I drew a little hockey stick there, but away from the body so that you can bring it in and change that angle and then fire off. But what you're doing as you're bringing it in is you're loading up that puck so that you can create tension on the stick, create that flex, and then you leverage this stick technology to basically shoot for you. And so as you bring it in, your hands come out, right? So that you're creating what's called the push-pull. So let's see, I'm acting it out in my hand right now to make sure I'm telling you guys the right thing. So your top hand is pulling essentially, and your bottom hand is pushing. And so it's creating that kind of lever action on the stick as you're bringing it in. Hopefully this is making sense. If it's not, let me know. You're going to see it in action, so hopefully it'll make more sense. Boom. Hopefully this is a little bit of a better angle. Brings that puck in, puck preparation that we just talked about. Boom. And sorry for the little audio there. Let me go back to the angle I had. Okay. Puck preparation. Bring it in. Release. Now, I think that there's a lot to like here. As he's bringing it in, look at that. Look at this. Look at the flex he generates on his stick. Like, that tells you that he's applying the pressure in the right areas. So that's a good sign. If the stick is flexing, to me, it tells me that your form, your mechanics are good or good enough, right? Not necessarily great, but good enough. One thing that I think that he could stand to benefit from here, if I'm going to be really nitpicky, is let's see that top hand, and maybe this isn't the best camera angle, so maybe it's the case that he did do it, but let's see that top hand come out a little bit more. Let's really punch out and create just a little more separation. And now I'm just erasing all over the place. Sorry. But let's bring that top hand out, create a little bit more of the punch, because what you're doing as you bring your top hand out is you're creating more of an area to then flex your stick. Because remember, the top hand is pulling, the bottom hand is pushing. And so right here, and you see Connor Bedard do this too, where they keep the stick a little tighter to their body because it allows you to have that big hip swivel and you're loading the stick up that way. For me personally, I think that maybe the hand could come out a little bit more. We're going to look at it one more time. I mean, it's a clean shot, and you can hear the people in the background applauding, cheering, whatever. It's a good-looking shot. It's pretty textbook. I think that it shows to me that everything Leo Carlsson has said so far, he is working on, and it's good to see. He's following through. On that note, hope you all enjoyed the video, and we will talk to you next time. Have a good one. One more shot. See ya.